Hey guys, it's Chris, aka Deuces, and today we're going to be talking about the 5 tips for playing shows. First things first, I just want to give a giant shout out to all of you that have grabbed the Sample Pack Volume 3. We're already halfway sold out, and that is just absolutely mind-boggling to me, so thank you guys so much. So if you don't know all of the ins and outs and the possible issues you're going to have with playing a show out of state or even the next city that you've never played before, then you might want to listen to this list. Number 1, you absolutely need to make sure that you have a contract. Like, before you even budge to even get up and jump up and down because you finally just got booked in that next city over or that next state and you're extremely excited. I get it. I've been there. But you need to make sure that there is a contract stating that you will be playing, you'll be paid, and everything will be handled. Number 2, when it comes to this, I would think it would be blatantly obvious. You need to promote the show. You need to make sure that you're posting a flyer. Even if you make a quirky little video just being like, yo, I'm gonna be in this city. You know, it's not that difficult, but sometimes people just overlook it. And how, I do not know. If your fans and your people do not know that you're going to said city or state or venue, whatever, however you want to word it, how would they know to come to the show? That's why I'm saying it's obvious. Number 3, now when it comes to travel and packing and all of that, first and foremost, you want to make sure to try to get your flight, if you're going to be flying, as soon as you possibly can. Now this kind of comes back with like the contract, because if it's contracted, you should be getting a deposit, you know, by a certain date, and then by that date, hopefully you can try to then get your flight. Now I know in today's world, especially in my realm right now, flights are very expensive, and I'm having to fly on some of the cheapest flights, and that has came to bite me in the ass, so I would highly suggest to stay away from the absolute cheapest. And you might want to pay the extra few dollars for those airlines that will get you there. Shout out Delta. But always make sure to get your travel handled, especially if the contract is signed, because if you wait until the last day and you need to play that day in a different state, you're going to be paying probably 4 to sometimes even 10 times what you would have paid even a week ago for that same flight. When it comes to the packing side of things, you need to make sure, of course, you've got a USB. Always make sure you've got a backup just in case things do happen. Your headphones, socks, tons of socks. Always make sure to have extra socks. You never know. Hanging out in the green room and a drink gets spilled, and now you're sitting there with wet sock. That's never fun for anyone. Number 4, do not make a fool of yourself. Now this one I've heard from promoters, artists, and all sorts of people alike, even fans, that an artist got too messed up to even play, or even if they did play and they were too messed up, it just didn't sound great because they were way too messed up and off time, and you need to be professional. I understand if you're a partier, I'm not gonna judge you for that. I drink a little bit at my shows, especially to just take a little bit of the edge off. But when it comes to playing professionally and doing this professionally, you need to make sure you're not getting too messed up to even play. Not only is that going to come to bite you in the ass with the promoter and you may never get booked again, but that's going to show your fans or your possible new fans what type of person you are, and that's going to really screw you in the long run. Number 5, and I think this is almost equally as important as the contract. You need to make sure that you say thank you at the end of the night. Not only the fans, but the possible new fans, the promoter, the lighting guy, the sound guy. And if it wasn't for those last 2, you wouldn't be playing. So you need to make sure to say thank you. And don't forget hospitality as well if you have a green room and hospitality. Because if it wasn't for those people putting it all together and throwing the event, and even the venue people as well, you can say thank you to, like, thank you for having me out and allowing this to happen. And that really rounds out coming back. Don't just go and be an ass. When you go and be an ass, they're not gonna wanna bring you back out. So I hope today's video really helps you guys figure out how to make sure that you have a very successful first show, not even in the next city over, but the next state. If you learned anything, please smash that like button, or you can flick it, whatever you wanna do. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button as well. I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.